Oh, the phone, it's really looking for it. It crashed one more time. I got 6 minutes in. I was almost signing off my video and the phone crashed. It's testing me. It's testing me. So, we bought a horse today. We bought a gray horse today. Been a while since we had a gray horse. And quite frankly, we didn't have a bad run with gray horses. I was okay with them. I was happy. Hunted house. So I'll rewind right to the start of the afternoon. I get done at the barn, came home. A lot was going on today, so I'm going to unpack it all. Started with On Gate. I had a number of yearlings. I was looking at 3 or 4 yearlings. I was the underbidder. I ended up opting not to bid on 2 of them. I guess it was tough because it's a tough time of year to judge what a yearling's worth. These are weanlings that have just turned a year old. So if you have to add at least $10,000 or $12,000 to what you paid for them today, and then ask yourself the question, what the horse is going for today, plus that $10,000 or $12,000, would you bid on this horse's pedigree at a sale for that? When it came down to the Green Manalishi, I thought that was a little light. I thought the horse's pedigree was a little bit light. Nothing against the horse, from what I could tell. Nice looking horse, but a little bit light. The What the Hill was right around what I thought it was worth, but again, the next question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to carry this horse? Even though we do have 2 weanlings, do you want another one? No, I let that one go too. Now, I was the underbidder on the Propulsion filly, sister to Gigondis. And as I say it out loud, especially, but I got to watch everything take place all the way to the end of the preferred sale and then make this statement. I wish I had kept going. I wish I'd have went to 21 or 22,000 on the Propulsion. I did not. So we didn't get it. I'll make you a promise. We'll get a Propulsion this year in the sale. I'm sad. I suspect it'll be one of those things where there'll be some first crop sires, but with these new sires out, then you have to still throw in Muscle Hill, which is still strong. Then you throw in Walner into the mix. Green Shoes, however they make out this year. Sprinkle on, as I said, a number of first crop sires. I think the Propulsions will be very affordable this fall, regardless of what goes on. So I exited the on-gate sale and I got nothing. I was okay with that. Now we started with a preferred sale. 2 things going on today. I was looking at 4 horses, actively looking. I ended up bidding on 6 horses, actually, but actively at the start looking at 4. The 2 that I wasn't really interested in, I ended up making a bid on both of them. I was interested in them, but I thought they would go for a lot more than that. They were, Pondo Adventure went for less than I thought it would, and the Pacer ended up going for about maybe even a little more than I thought it would. The problem I had with both of those horses, the Herman horse and the Pondo horse, was that they aren't going to race for 60 to 75 days. And I have to believe, I'm going to stick to my guns on this, I believe before February 15th, there will be some more quality horses up for sale, much like the one that we bought. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. You look at Pondo Adventure, you can't compare these horses. I mean, this horse is the one we bought is 2 wins and 37,000 made. The Trotter's got 700 made almost. So 2 totally different things. But again, presents the problem with the Trotter. Where are you going to race him? The more I watch the video, it looks like he strikes his outside knee, and he wasn't a very big horse. That screams Yonkers, so I suspect somebody from Yonkers is going to take a crack at him. But either way, I let the horses go. The ones that I bid on the Muscle Mass horse. I was the underbidder on. Talismano, I was the underbidder on. The Walner, I never made a bid on. I was going to make a bid on the Walner, and I did not. But I did continue to bid on Hunted House. Now, we'll get to the 2 that we had up for sale in just a second, but I did want to touch on Hunted House a little bit. You know what? I'll end with him. Matt's MVP. I was looking at the sale. I had bid him up to $18,000. I told a couple of our clients 20 or 21, but as the sale was going on, everything going on around him, and I'm watching what Talismano is going for. This is a similar type horse. Maybe not has the experience or the speed shown on paper that Matt's MVP has. Similar. They both went for the same amount of money, I believe. Talismano might have went for 18. I'm not sure. The Muscle Mass horse, again, similar but not quite there. My biggest problem with Matt's MVP was I felt he was getting a little tired. And I also don't believe he can do in the numbers of 4. So we kind of are painted into a corner here, right? I'm not sending him back to Northfield Park. And if I believe he's tired, what am I doing sending him to the Meadows? I just didn't think that, I personally did not believe that if we could sell Matt's MVP today was maybe the day to do it. Or give him a little rest. And I opted for the first. So we got $19,000 for him, I believe. I think that was a fair price for him. Maybe a seller's price. He might have got a little bargain, maybe a couple of grand off. Might have got a little 8% or 10% off, whoever bought the horse, but quality horse that wants to do his work just in Ontario. I'm not sure it was going to play out well for us over the next couple of months. So I don't regret the sale. I ended up retaining Sailor, and I would have run him right to 19 or 20,000. We turned down 17.5 the other day. We're past the point of in for a penny, in for a pound. I like the horse. We just can't find a spot for him. The races were canceled the other day. There was an optional 20. He'll be back in, I suspect, next Sunday, and then we'll get a look. Now that we bought him back, you know what's going to happen. Same thing that every time happens, he's going to run. That's what he's going to do. I don't want to jinx him. I probably just did. But every time we buy a horse back, something bad happens. So, Grace, buy. Buy. We bought her back 3 times. Then I finally sold her for pretty much what I bought her back for. So, Sailor. We kept Sailor. We sold Matt's MVP. Now, Haunted House. Obviously, you can see that my brother Mark was driving the horse, knows the horse intimately. Ray Schnicker trains the horse. I first told Mark I was thinking of bidding on him. I didn't want to put him in a bad spot, right? The last thing you want is somebody like Ray thinking that Mark is feeding, oh, you got to buy this horse, Anthony. Oh, you have to buy this horse. That wasn't it. You know, Mark and I talked about the price, and I did. I rarely stretch a little bit, but for this particular horse, with the story surrounding him, the selling point for me was the way he raced yesterday. Yes, he was beaten. He was beaten fair and square. I can't pull it. Oh, I can go this way. He was beaten fair and square his last start by, I'm trying to think of the name of the horse. Here we go. And we start working now. Thank you. Greg the Leg. So Greg the Leg's Per Engblom's horse. Let's look up old Gregory here for a second. Greg went in 52 last quarter, 26-4, shows multiple miles in 51, 52. Tons more experience. And Mark knows... Well, Mark knows this horse, too. This is one of Ray Schnicker's horses. Greg the Leg. Mark was a winner? I didn't know this. Mark said he liked Haunted House better than Greg the Leg, but I was not aware that maybe he thought that I knew that Ray Schnicker had Greg the Leg. I did not know that. So Haunted House was a beaten fair and square third. What I liked about the horse was that it looked like... so when you pull up his lines, when you pull up the lines for Haunted House, you see, here's what I wanted to see. I kept telling you guys there's going to be fresh horses coming, and this is one. This is a horse that qualified on New Year's Eve, 57, easy qualifier. Mark went with them. Come back 8 days later, another easy qualifier on an off track. Tracks off a second, 56-3, 27-3. Then he draws a 10-hole, his first start back. He did what anybody would do in this position, took the horse back to last, and ended up 8th. Paced 55, track off a second again. So he draws a 6-hole in the same class the day before the sale, 9 days after his last start. You know Mark is going to launch him. 26-3 the first quarter. Looks like there might have been wind. Second quarter was 30-1. You don't see that very often at the Meadowlands. 3 quarters, 125-4. Now, heading into the last turn, it looked like Haunted House was going to be 8th. I'm watching him like, ooh. Around the last turn, still going to be 8th. And then he fights back on. And I didn't notice until this morning, his own last quarter was 27 seconds flat. The horse looked like he was going to be decimated. Fought back on, and I thought he was second for a second. He was just nipped at the wire for second. So I pull up his lines again. Won his second lifetime start, 53, 27-4. Had a real good campaign. Scratched vet in June. Come back 7 days later. And then raced all the way till September of his 3-year-old year, and they rested him. Gave him lots of time off, brought him back. Horse as fresh as a daisy, raced great the other day. He's got 2 wins and $37,000 made lifetime. I suspect he's going to do very well at Mohawk for at least a little while. And the value he holds is still going to be there. We paid $50,000 US for him. I guess the easiest way, part of the deciding factor for me is looking at a horse like Procrastinator. What would I think he's worth right now, and how would he do against this particular horse right now? They both have 1 start. Procrastinator was a winner in 55 the other night, short field. This guy gritted it out, raced a little tougher and the track's a little faster at the Meadowlands, obviously. But again, similar horses in a different situation. And when I look at everything and the way it's all put together, especially now that I know where Greg the Leg came from, I didn't realize that story. I think that Haunted House is worth exactly what we paid for him. Did we steal him? No, we didn't steal him. We paid retail price for a good-looking horse. That's what we did. And that's what we're going to do sometimes. We did it last year when I bought Sintra online. That's what he looked like he was worth. We did it last year when I bought Patrick de Pirana online. that's what he looked like he was worth. And there's lots of horses. I'm using those two because it worked out well. I'm sure I did it with Bravura and we get smashed. Yeah, it happens. But when I'm looking at this horse right here, Hunted House, I know he's coming from a quality farm. I know he's had a great upbringing. And even further to that, this horse was bred by Ray Schnicker also. So he's coming from a top farm with great pedigree, great schooling, great training, and fitting in a place at Mohawk where we need him. One, the races fill all the time in that class. Two, he's coming in fresh as a daisy as we hit February. This is what we need. Now, I did not buy Ponda Adventure. I did not buy the Sherman horse, whatever his name is, Sherman. Forget his name. I hate when I do that. Sure Thing Sherman. He was a purchaser, $110,000. Tom Pollock bought him, so he was going to get him regardless of what we were bidding. I was the underbidder on Musculus Massa. Stacy Curry bought that horse. I think that horse was a good purchase for $16,000, and Josh Kaufman bought Talismano. And I was the underbidder on that particular horse. So, and we bought back Sailor, and we sold Matt's MVP. So all in all, there was a lot of business done between 2 p.m. this afternoon and when I'm doing my video right now at 4:45. Everything worked out pretty well. We got nothing on the on-gate sale. We sold Matt's MVP. We retained Sailor because he's worth more than that. And also, we ended up picking up a pretty quality animal in Hunted House. So I have to reach out to the people that have obviously said they wanted to be involved with Hunted House and let them know that there will be shares available. We'll put some shares online tonight for you, but I think we made a good purchase with Hunted House. He'll be coming home immediately to Ontario, and we'll be racing hopefully next week at Mohawk. So with that, I'll let you guys go. We'll continue to push forward. Good luck to everybody tonight racing in Mohawk. Take care.